Today we are going to be replacing we're going to be installing batteries or replacing batteries in the 22 amp hour Phoenix HD4 battery pack. This is what the box looks like. You may have this already, or you may be buying this and putting your own batteries in or replacing the batteries. There are 8 screws that hold the case together. There's 2 here, and 2 on each of the other sides. And the first thing you're going to want to do is remove those screws. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm using an ordinary Phillips head screwdriver. I take that hand now. We'll cut away from it. Alrighty, as you can see, I've removed all the screws, put them in safekeeping. You might want to put, if you're working on a kitchen table, you might want to put a towel down so you don't scratch up the table or something. So we're going to take the top off of this. Top lifts right off. This one's empty. Yours may not be empty. Inside, you're going to see a pigtail that looks like this, and then you're going to see the wires. And this little wire here plugs into this connector here before we close it up. It's a pretty tight fit. It's pretty important that you make sure that these wires are not crimped between the battery and the various things that are in the bottom of the case.
Tilt it more towards me. Yeah, there you go.
So we're going to put a couple of batteries in here, and it's going to go like this. We're going to take this wire and we're going to put it underneath that. And we're going to take this battery, put it in here like that. And we're going to take this battery, and those batteries are now in. You'll notice that the terminals are on opposite sides. The batteries are not together with the terminals together. They're facing away from one another. And what we're going to do then is we're going to use the hardware that came with the batteries, and we're going to connect these just like this, red to red, black to black. And you want to we'll pause it now because I'm going to Here's where you'll want to have pliers, or if you have a nut driver, either one can be used. I'm going to use a nut driver because it's faster.
Yeah, it was on the floor over there. Larry must have taken it.
Weird.
How you orient these wires is kind of important in order to get the top on. So I'm going to do my final tightening here. And then I'm going to bend these just like that, and I'm going to tuck them right in like that. That's really all you have to do. Then we're going to move over to the other side where we haven't made any connections yet, and we're going to go return to this little stub, and it's actually got a fuse in it, and that's the overload fuse for this battery pack. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to orient these the same way. We're going to swing this way over here. You may want to bend that already. Bend it out. If you drop the bolt or the nut inside the battery case, you'll definitely want to turn it upside down and get it out. The batteries don't come with any extras. You're going to need all of them. We're just going to grab the nut with the pliers, tighten this up nice and tight. Tighten this one up the same way. Bend this out also. Tuck that in. So our batteries are now wired properly. That's what it looks like. Now we're going to take this and we're going to plug this in. All three, so red, green, and black, are all plugged in. And then we're just going to take this, make sure all the wires are tucked in. Put the top on, gently tilt it on its side.
And then we're going to put the screws back in, and you can let the screws draw the case halves together.
Comes together really nicely. I like to put the two screws on one side in, and then I like to flip it over and do the opposite side. And there's quite a gap there, but the screws will draw it together. Assuming you haven't got the wires pinched in the crack, but we don't. If you own a scooter, it's always good to have a little test meter. It looks like this, and we're going to use that here just to confirm that we have this connected properly. So we have our test meter here. You can use any household test meter. We sell these for about $29.95. They're always great to have. And you're just going to take your test probes and just touch them to the metal plates and see that we have about 25 volts. That means that the battery pack is properly wired and the batteries are good. And we are ready to go. Take that off. And there is a repaired or constructed Phoenix HD4 battery pack.